तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदि कवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजता दधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, verse 22. The prayers of Sri Prahlad to Lord Nrsimhadev. And we read how he was explaining about the human body, subtle and gross, made from matter, and it's under the control of the Lord, who is the master of external energy. And therefore he said that whatever one does, the instrument, the place, the senses, the agent, everything is inspired by him. It is product of Maya, which works under him. But person thinks himself as independent of the Lord, and therefore comes under the control of three gunas. So now in this verse he continues and he says, Swatam hi nitya vijitatma gunha swadhamna kalo vashikrit vrishijya visarga sakti chakre vrishishtam ajayeshwara shodasare nispidyaman upakarsha vibho prapannam. He says that you, O Lord, you are ever in control of these gunas, Atma guna, belonging to the Maya, by your own internal potency, Swadham. And then there is Kala, time, Vashikrita Visvijya Visarga Sakti. So, the potency to create, that is under the influence of time. You have created the subtle bodies, O Lord, by Ajaya, or by the unborn Maya, Ajaya Vishishta Ishvara Chakra Shodasare, which has the 16 elements. And we are all being squeezed by it, Nispidyamanam. So kindly, I am surrendered to you, bring me under your shelter. So in the material world, there are basically three things which work. One is the gunas of Prakriti, matter. And this gunas, they are under the influence of time, which is in the of God. And then there is the karma attached to every individual being. So these three factors, they influence every conditioned being. Time, karma, and matter. Matter is that which undergoes transformation. And time is which acts on it to transform it, and the way it transforms is by the karma of individual person. And then so much variety comes into existence. And then in between, living entity is hanging, thinking that he can enjoy. So there is no scope for enjoyment because of avidya, asmita. Then he has raga and dvesha. He thinks that this is what I like and this is what I do not like. So he says everybody is nispidyaman. It's like here in India they make this juice, sugarcane juice. That is called nispidyaman. That you put the sugarcane in between these two rollers, move it, the juice comes out. So this is called nispidyaman. That we are all getting squeezed out day and night. And out of that, sometimes we think we are happy when we are out of the roller. So you get some relief. But then what they do is that they take it out and again till the last drop comes out. So when you are under the roller, then you suffer, and then you comes out, then you think there is some relief now, you feel happy. So that is the material happiness. So he is saying that I am like that, so Karsha Vibho Prapanna. Please take me under your shelter. I surrender to you. So his prayer, of course, he is a great devotee of the Lord. He is not influenced by these gunas, but he is comparing himself to a materialistic person. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Ato mayastva shaktitvat tanmayam samsar chakram yadyapi tadurupam tadapi tvam swarup shaktya tasmat prithak bhuto ateva hamapi tasmat vimuktam ichchami mam swacharnantikam naya ityaha svatvam. So he says that Maya is the potency of the Lord. And therefore this samsar chakra, this material world in which everything is going in cycles, is also your form. Yadyapi tvadarupam. It's also form of the Lord. That's how it is described in the Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto. But still, it is his external form. So, Tvam Swarup Shaktya Tasmat Prithak Bhuta. So Lord has two types of form. One is his internal form, another is his external form. So the material world is the external form, therefore we don't feel him directly. It's like you maybe having some business, you have your own house and you don't go to the office. These days people do work from the home. They control everything from there. So in the office nobody sees you. Although it is your office, it is your company or your business, people are working under your command. You may be be talking to them through phone, but normal people, they don't feel your presence. So like that, everything is actually controlled by, Krishna says, Vishtabhyam idam ekansena sthito jagat. That this whole universe is controlled by one part of me. I have entered into everything. So as you create some business, it is your energy. It is by your energy that it comes into existence. You maintain it, you control it. Like that Lord, He controls everything. Nothing is out of His control. But we do not feel His presence because He is not existing in His personal form, with His internal potency. And therefore we feel as if we are independent of Him. So that's what He says. So tvad-rupam tadapi tvam swarup shaktya tasmat prathak bhuto. So He says, I am separate from this. Tasmad vimuktum ichchami. So I want to get freedom from this bondage of this material energy. Please bring me under the shelter of your feet. Yan maya hi gunmayam jivopadhim srijati satvam swadhamna swarup shaktya vijita atma guna buddhi guna. Maya creates this material world. So creation, this is called upadhi or conditioning. Because really speaking, the living being, jiva, is not in contact with matter, but still getting influenced. It's like if there is a crystal and you put some red color object next to the crystal, then crystal appears also red in color. It's not touching that object, just because of the proximity. And if you do not know this, if these two objects are always together, you will always see the crystal as red. But actually it is not red. So this is called upadhi or conditioning. So like that, jiva is conditioned by maya. And even if he looks at himself, he sees himself as red. And he is always seen himself as red because this maya is anadi avidya. So can never understand that actually I am not red, which means I am not material, I am not this body. Body is the upadhi. So it is not my swarupa, but it looks like it is my swarupa. Just like the color, red color is not part of the crystal, it is not part of its swarupa. Its internal essence, it's outside. That red color is not in the crystal, it is outside. But it looks as if it has entered in it. It's only reflecting it basically. It's not even entered. If it is entered, you don't see it. It's because it is reflecting it. So we think it is red. But what is its actual color, we don't know. So this is how we are covered. This is how it is described in Shobhas of that. Please remove this covering. So everything is covered like this. What is the real swarupa of anything? We don't know. What we know is what it is reflecting. But what is it? That we cannot figure out because we cannot never go beyond the reflection. As soon, whenever you will see that crystal, you will see it red. But what is actually its original swarupa? You will never know. Unless you remove the upadhi. So Hiranmaya Patrena. So this is the Hiranmaya Patra. This is the golden covering. Everything covered. So our Swarupa is covered like that. This upadhi created by Maya. And therefore we don't see our own self. When we see, we only see this body, subtle or gross. And we can never think that we are not this body. No matter how many million times you think you are not the body, you can hear it every day. You just get used to it and you can repeat it. That I am not the body. But when it comes to acting, we always act I am the body. So it's like you may say, well, crystal is not red, but whenever you see it red. So, and then we are nispidyaman because of that. That's why when we think we are the body, then we get crushed in the rollers. So sometimes they have 2 rollers, sometimes they have 3. So these are the 3 gunas of nature, which are the rollers. So they are squeezing us. And of course, really speaking, Jiva is not squeezed because it never touches them. But he thinks because he is identifying with the body. So he says that you are the master of these gunas, buddhi guna yena, saya gunan kshobhayati. So vijit atma guna. Atma guna here does not mean his own guna, but guna of buddhi. The word atma is very interesting, it has meaning. Body, mind, buddhi, self, and super soul also. So Lord has conquered them or controlled them, so He is the one who moves them. He is the one who makes them change. And sakalo api tvam. So how He does it? To the time. Because time is that which acts. Time is bringing a modification in the gunas. So therefore in time we have different gunas becoming prominent. Sometimes sattva is prominent, sometimes rajas, sometimes tamas. It happens to everybody. Sometimes we are in good mood, sometimes in angry mood, sometimes dejected. So it's all the play of the gunas. That's why Krishna says that don't see the good and bad of others. Parsvabhav karmana. So what is the use? You can blame somebody, you can criticize. It's all the gunas working. Ultimately. So go beyond that and see the reality. So kala, the time, is activated by the Lord. At the beginning of creation, when He glances at the matter, that glance is the time. And then there is shobha. There is change which starts occurring according to the karma. So he says this time is also you, kalo api tvam, ateva vashikrita virsujya maya karya bhuta upade. And because time is also energy of the Lord, Krishna, so therefore the creative potency is under His control. So everything is under His control, but still, because of avidya, ignorance, we think we are the control. This is the job of avidya, ignorance. Visargo nikshepa shakti avidya cha yenasa. So this avidya is thrown by him. So Maya has 2 divisions in it. One is called Jiva Maya, another is called Guna Maya. Jiva Maya is that which puts us in ignorance of our true nature, and Guna Maya is that which creates external objects so that you can play with them. If knowledge is there, then you will not be entangled in it. And if you are only in ignorance or delusion, but there is nothing to play, then also you cannot do anything. So it works from 2 sides. From inside, it covers our true understanding, and outside creates the world. So therefore we never know what is going on, because we don't have no way. Inside is Maya is sitting inside. So how can you know? If you have glasses which are colored, and the glasses are stuck to your eyes, then you will always see through the color. You will never see the original stuff. So Maya sits inside. Therefore Krishna says, Mama Maya Durakte. It is impossible to transcend this Maya. Devi is Agunmaya. So Devi means who is playful. So it's playing. That is the play of Maya. And people are happy. Play. So he says that this Kala is that which is controlling this by the effect of Maya. Ata ikshu dandavan nispidyaman. So he says, I am just like the sugar cane which is being juiced out. So please help me. Janam upkarsha samipam naya. Bring me under your shelter. So now if Lord Nrsimhadev says, why you are speaking all these humble words? You are son of Hiranyakashipu. You have so much opulence, power, position. So you should enjoy. What is the problem? Maybe others are getting troubled, but you don't have to be like that. So then he speaks the next words. Drishta maya divi vibhokhil dhishna panam mayushriyo vibhoichati yanjanoyam ye asmat pitu kupitaha savijrimbita dhruvispurjitena lulita satute nirastaha. So he says that, O Lord, I have seen everything. He's young, he's just a young boy, but he has good experience. So he says, Drishta maya divi vibho akhila dhishanyapanam ayu. He says, I have seen all these dhishanyapas, great masters of the various regions, higher planets, Indraloka, Chandraloka, Varunloka, all these people, they are very great, they have long ayu, they live very long life. Shriya, they have beauty, vibhava, wealth. Ichchati yanjanoyam says whatever people of this earth desire, people of this earth, they desire good health, money, power, beauty. Says these people, they all have it. But what is their situation? Yasmat pitu kupita hasa vijrimbita bhruvis purjitena. He says, when my father looked at them, just by the twitch of their eyebrow, they used to tremble. All these people. So what is the use of that beauty, that power, that strength? They were so scared of my father. And that father is killed by you. So now see, he is lying there dead, with his belly torn apart. So why do I want this? What is the value? He says, Sprujitena lulita satute nirasta. Says, these people will fall down just by his one twinkling of eye. He was so powerful. And that powerful father, my father, is lying here, completely smashed by him. So I am not interested in anything like this. न च त्वं विना अन्य कामपि ऐश्वर्यवन्तं पश्यामि यमहं प्रपद्ये. So he's saying that I do not see anyone else whom I can surrender. So if we want to surrender to somebody, then that person to whom we surrender should also be qualified. If we surrender to unqualified people, then we are asking for trouble. Jiva Goswami writes this. He says that if somebody is not qualified and he wants to give mercy, he said that both will suffer, to whom he wants to give mercy and he himself. So kripalo asamarthasya. He says somebody is kripalu, very merciful, but he is asamartha, incapable. So then he says that kripa eva dukkha, his mercy will be the cause of suffering. So if we have to take shelter, we should take shelter who is qualified to give shelter. So therefore Prahlad says that I take your shelter. Why? Because I have seen everybody. I have seen what is the use of taking shelter of Varuna or Indra or somebody else. He says they used to shake in front of my father. And now that father is also like him. So you are the only worthy person of whom I take shelter. So therefore he says, Kamapi Ashwaryavantam na pashyami, that I don't see anybody who is opulent enough, qualified enough, capable of giving shelter other than you. So therefore if we have to take shelter of Krishna. He is the most qualified. Yomam sansarad uddharishyati ityaham. Why he says? Because these other people, they cannot uplift me from this material. If you want to cross the ocean by catching the tail of a dog, then you make sure that dog will also drown along with you. So Bhagavatam says that don't try that. Because dog does not have the power to take you across the ocean. So he said that these people, they are like that. They do not have the ability, the capacity, because they themselves are under the control of the three winds. So the idea is that here in the material world, people are trying to achieve some material power position. And Prahlad says that I already have that. More than what you can ever imagine. Nobody can be as powerful as Prahlad, even materially. Because he is the successor of Hiranyakashipu. He got the throne of Hiranyakashipu, who was ruling all over the three worlds. So no one, we cannot dream even 1% of power which he had. And he says that it is all useless. Because it can be destroyed by time. That's what he was saying. This kala, this time will destroy everything. So what is the use of having anything like that? If we have to strive for something, we should strive, we should stay with us. If we work hard and then you gain something and you lose it after a short period, then our effort becomes useless. So therefore he says, I do not see anybody else whose shelter can help me, because their shelter cannot take me beyond the material world. Divi sthanam Akhila Lokpalanam Ayur Adayo Drishta. So there are Lokpalas, the protector of various regions, all this Varuna, Indra, Yama. They are in charge of various lokas. So he says, I have seen their life, I have seen their power, because they all used to come. They are all under the control of Hiranyakashipu. Sriyo Dhan Sampadaha, I have seen their wealth. Vibhava Ashwarya, I have seen their power. Ye Dhishanyapa, Asmat Pituhu Kopahasa Vikrit Bhubhanga Matraneva Vidus. He says they used to collapse on the ground just by the twitch of an eyebrow of my father. If he laughed, he got angry. Even if he laughed, they did not understand whether he is laughing sarcastically or is really laughing. They got scared. So they will already be falling on the ground. Sacha Tvaya Nirasta, and that father who was so powerful, he has been killed by you. So, iti asadharana prabhavadapi tvameva parmeshvara iti jananti bhava. So he says, even if I do not know you who you are, at least I see that you are more superior than anyone else. Because my father was superior to all of these people in power, in wealth, in strength, and you are more superior to him. So it is a practical demonstration that you are supreme. Therefore, why shall I think of taking anybody's shelter? So here in the material world, we are taking shelter of some very useless things which hardly have any power or any ability. But Prahlad rejected all this. So by his own example, he is teaching us. Tasmadamustanu bhritamaham ashisho gyayuhu shriya vibham endriyamaviraischat nechamite vilulutanuru vikramena kalatmanopnayamam niyabhritya parsham. So therefore he says very clearly that I do not desire any blessings of this material world, which people are asking, whether it is knowledge, lifespan, wealth, power, endriyam aviramchat, beginning from Brahma onwards. So from here up to Brahma, I do not want any of this. Nechamite vilulutanuru vikramena. Because this all under the influence of time, which is your energy. Kalatmana, you are the Lord of time. And my only prayer is Upanaya Mam Nij Bhritya Parsham. That please carry me in the association of your devotees, Bhrityas. So Prahlad is praying that you give me the shelter of your devotees, make me servant of your servants. And that is the only thing I want. So in the material world, nobody wants to be servant. Everybody wants to be master. And Prahlad says, I don't want to be your servant. I want to be a servant of your servant. So, Upanayamam is Bhritya Parshvam. Give me the opportunity to be under the shelter of your devotees, your servants, your attendants, and there is nothing else that I desire. So this is what he has been saying from the very beginning. He has been telling that he has no interest in this material opulence, and he only wants devotion, service, bhakti, and association of devotees. He says the only thing I fear is non-devotee association. So he must be really fed up because he keeps on saying this again and again. After all, he was living with all the atheistic people. So it must be hard for him. He cannot speak his heart to anybody. And then his father was so against bhakti. So he really wants to get out of it. So then, I'm done with it. Please get me out of this place. So this is his refrain again and again. He comes to this point that without bhakti there is nothing which can satisfy. So this is his personal experience which he is revealing for our benefit. People want happiness, people want love, but they don't know where to get it, how to get it. And also they are scared of it. That is another thing. People want love, but they are also most scared of love. And that is because of avidya. Because we are so much used to our avidya that we don't want to give it up. So when it comes to giving up avidya, we become afraid as if I'm going to lose my wealth. All my property is going. But this is what we have collected. All this dirt. Like children, they will collect pebbles at the shore of an ocean. And if somebody picks one, becomes angry, why are you taking this? So we have gathered a lot of dirt around us. And now if we have to get obviously love, we have to give this up. So we don't want. So we want and we don't want. That's why it is said that bhakti is easy and also difficult. We always hear that bhakti is very simple, but then we don't see people actually getting it. So this is because we cling to our wealth of avidya. We have our samskaras, our past experiences, our attachments. Like Arjuna says, how can I fight with them? They are my guru, they are my teacher, they are my relatives. So these are all the attachments which we gather from our childhood. We have many opinions, we have concepts. It's not only the physical objects that we are attached to, we are also attached to our concepts. So if we want God, we also want that God which should fit in my concept. I want love that should also fit in my concept. And if it does not fit in my concept, then I don't want it. So we have to give up that. That is the meaning of Sarv Dharman Parityajya. Dharma does not mean something else. Dharma are the concepts which I hang on to, which I think is my life. This is my survival line. So we have to give that up. And then only we can see the light. Otherwise we don't see it. We cannot have an experience unless we want to do away with this. So this is the problem in spiritual life. Basic, fundamental problem. Bhagavad Gita starts with this problem only. Attachment to my concepts, more than anything gross, more than property, more than relatives, that we can give up. People give up their house, their family, their job, they come to spirituality. And they change their dress, lifestyle, food also. But they don't change their concept. And that is the real thing. This concept is the subtle, it is in the subtle body. Gross is easy to give up. But subtle things are very intense. First of all, it's difficult to figure out that it has to be given up. Because it is mine. This is my identity. That's why Arjuna says, I don't even want to live by killing them. Because if I kill them, what is remaining in me? This is my identity. My concepts, my ideas. That is my very life. So we are very much hung up on these things. And we remain stuck in the same place. Physically we may change, but psychically we don't. So that is the first chapter of Gita, that is the Arjuna mentality. Arjuna first chapter. So this is most difficult. So Arjuna was a great hero, and his heroism was that he was willing to give it up. That was his greatness. That's why he says, Karishye vachanam tam. I will do what you say. Which means without interpreting it. We also say, I will do what you say, but we interpret that. Everybody takes their own meaning. So he said, I will follow you unconditionally. So that is what actually prapatti means. That's what it means, sharanam, surrender. That is the meaning of taking shelter. That is the meaning of taking diksha. That's what it really means. Divyam jnano yato dadyat. That is the divya jnana. So that is actually the secret. So Prahlad is an experienced person. So we should learn from his experience. What he is saying. So he says that all these things I have seen. So he is showing his detachment. He also had father, mother. It's not that he did not have. He had brothers also, family members. So he should also be attached. He is only 5-year-old. Young people, children, they are very much attached to the family members. So he says, no, this I have all seen. So he says, drishta, I have seen it. And they say, been there, done that. So he says, I have gone through this and I don't find any respite, any comfort, any solace in it. Because it is all very flickering and there is no tattva in it. So it's the same illusion to see the crystal as red when actually it is not. But it keeps on looking red as long as we don't have the knowledge. So therefore he says that Tasmad amustanu bhritam ham ashisho gyayu. He says that what these people, what common person considers as a blessing, I am not interested in that. So common people, that's what they are after. So long life, wealth, good position and strong senses. Because if you live long and you are sick, that's not a blessing. So you have good senses, good mind, you live long, and then you should have some money also to enjoy. You live long but you are poor. That's also trouble. So it says Ashwarya Lakshmi. So this is what people want. So he says, I do not want any of these things because I know very well that these are all under the clutches of time. They are all time bound. Even if you get it, time is going to take it away. So union is the cause of separation. Sanyoga eva sansuchayati viyogasya karanam. Whenever you have sanyoga, union with anything, that itself tells you that you will be separated from it. That is the message. That if you have union with anything, that union itself is telling you that you will have separation. So therefore he says that it is all time bound and it will go away. And then nothing is left in your hand. You are again empty. Then again work. Punarapi maranam punarapi punarapi janani jatara shayana. So again birth, again death, again in the womb, again work hard, and in the end again empty hand. That is the samsara chakra. What is the use of that? So Sri Vishwanath says that evam chet mattah param eshvarta kimata. So he says, what is that you want from me? You are saying that I am most powerful and supreme. So what is that you want? So it says, Yasmat mat pita tadrish ashwarya sampatti manapi nirasta. He says, because my father, who had the highest opulence, nobody was as opulent as Hiranyakashipu. That's why his name was Hiranyakashipu. He had all the gold with him. So he says that no one was more opulent, wealthy, powerful than my father, and even he is lost it. So why shall I desire anything? This is very telling, very informative, something to be thought about. That's why these stories are told here again and again with all these great people who are rich, wealthy, and then where are they now? So nirasta tasmadaham ashisho bhogan gyahs tat paripakam vidwan. So he said, therefore I know what is material pleasure, what is enjoyment, what are material objects, and what is the outcome of that. He says, I know it very well. Indriyam indriyair bhogyam. And I also know the sense pleasures which we enjoy through our senses. Aviranchyat brahmano bhogyam api abhivyapti. Not only here, but up to Brahmaloka. So Brahma Bhugnaloka Punaravartana. So from here up to Brahmaloka, the highest, kimapi nechami. I do not want any of that. Why? Te kala rupena vilulitan vidvastan. Because they are all destroyed, smashed by you in your form as time. So Krishna says, Kalosmi Lokshakrit Pravidha. Time I am, and I have appeared here to destroy the. So Kala Rupena, so he says that you as time, in the form of time, you destroy everything. Animabhinapi, even the powers, some people have some siddhis. There are various types of siddhis. So they are also temporary. It's not that if you have them, then you have them eternally. You can also lose them. It's like you have physical power, then you grow old, you lose. You have good memory, old age, you have dementia. So similarly, even these powers, you can produce something. Anima, Mahima, Garima, Lagna, Prapti. All these things, they are lost. So what is permanent? It says permanent is devotion. That will never be lost. So it says in this Bhritta Parshvam, iti tadeva sarvottamam janami iti. That I consider only that as the supreme, the highest. That is the only thing I want. So he is asking for association of his devotees of the Lord, and not anything else. And once you have that, there's nothing else you need. So he will continue speaking and stuff. If there is any questions.
We will talk about qualification. What should be the qualification of the spiritual master? And this qualification should be related to the disciple or absolute qualification?
No, this is absolute qualification, not related to specific disciple. Qualification is that why does disciple want Guru? Simple. Why does he want Guru? To understand spiritual life, right? And then to experience it. So qualification is that Guru must have that ability to give knowledge, to educate, to make the disciple understand, and also give the process by which he can get out of this. That is the qualification.
When we let go of our old concepts and avidya, then we are able to remove our upadhis. So is that identical in all respects with transcending the gunas, which means only possible with the help of the Swarup Shakti?
Yes. Because by yourself it is not possible. Because the very instrument you use are also made of those gunas. The thing is that it is sitting inside. So it's like you use some instrument to measure. It's, vernier caliper for measuring diameter. So if it has a backlash in it, that is called backlash error. So if you measure it, then you will always have an error because the instrument itself is having an error. If you are weighing something and you have some weighing machine and that is wrong, although it is showing 0, but actually it is not really 0. Then what happens? You will get the wrong measurement. So our instruments, they are under the grip of avidya. That's what Krishna says in 3rd chapter. That mind, buddhi, intelligence, they are the sitting places of this karma which he is talking about. So they are just sitting in those places and guiding you. So therefore Krishna says in 11th canto that one cannot have knowledge by oneself. One need help of others. Prahlad will also say this. Matirna Krishna Parta Svatava. Mitho Vipadyeta Graha Vrathana. So it's not possible. Because our mind, our intelligence, our senses, they have their limitations. Which is very easy to understand. It's not difficult. They are limited. So they cannot approach something which is an mokshaja. Mokshaja means which is beyond. Something which does not lie within the grasp of my senses, including the internal sense, the
mind. This Jiva which works from inside, is working according to the activity that the particular situation or persons. Because we are working because of previous activities, okay? Just, and then we cannot get out of this because it's like a chain. Now we are working because before we did something, and so on and so on. So then this, my question is, this Jiva Maya, which works from inside, is induced the person to go on in working for, like,
No, you go on in the cycle.
in the cycle. It keeps in the cycle.
So unless you come in contact with this knowledge, it is the only way to break the cycle.
So just like a function.
Otherwise, everybody continues the same way. Okay.
Yes. What level spiritual progress disciple must to be? What the level of the spiritual progress disciple must to be? That guru who opened him his soul. Изучи, там анахануритизм, там научили, prema, super. But Guru must open from first, second, 3 and 4 or 5 fundamental levels of spiritual. And what the level of Guru can open?
Then he has no other desire but service. If you are desiring even this itself is a problem. Problem is that bhakti is not swarupa or this or that. Anyabhilasita sunyam. So if you are not anyabhilasita sunyam and you are thinking, I just want my swarup, then you still don't understand what is bhakti.
But you not occur, but Charinama Chintamani wrote that Guru must open to disciple.
Yeah, but disciple has to become free from material desires.
This level more that anarchanuriti is ruchi level.
You forget about level, just become free from material desire. If your desire is something else, then you have to still hang around here.
Guru sees Swarupa, his disciple, or he can be.
That you have to ask the Guru. No, it is not like seeing that it is inside you, that is seeing you in some lines.
In the words of Narada Muni, his Sarvapadi Muktam, Tatparatvina. Can you explain that line?
Tatpar means devoted. Tat refers to Krishna. And para means devotion, surrendered. So tatparatvena nirvalam means because of being devoted. Sarvopadi nirvalam tatparatvena nirvalam. So tatpar means devotion to Krishna. So Shrikena. So tatparatvena Hrishikena. So Hrishika means senses. So senses are devoted to him. That is the meaning of tattva. Tat, like you know this word tattvamasi? Right? So tat means, tat literally is a pronoun. Yeah, which means that. But it is used for the Supreme Lord. So when you say tatpara, it means devoted or engaged.
When it's Tatparatvina, how is that?
It's an instrumental case. It's the senses, it goes along with the Hrishikena. Hrishikesh Sevanam Bhakti Rucha. So Tatparatvena Hrishikena. The senses which are devoted to Krishna, you do service to him, that is called Bhakti.
It is from Narada Bhakti Sutra.
Narad Pancharat.
Could you just start with
just answered Kamala that we keep in the cycles unless we come in contact